your program, your agenda setting program, Daybreak Nigeria. My name is Tunji Saliu, welcoming you on behalf of the management and staff of the station to today's edition of the program. And on today's edition of Daybreak Nigeria, we'll be x-raying the first anniversary of Ajoni Local Council Development Area, local council development area in Ekiti State, and the chairman of that local council LCDA is right here with us in the studio. He is Prince Michael Ogungbemi. Mr. Chairman, thank you for coming on our show this morning.
Thank you. Good morning, Mr. Saliu. Happy to be in your studio once more again.
And congratulations on the first anniversary of your LCDA.
Oh, thank you so much. Thank you so much. We're grateful.
All right. Let's talk about, the LCDA. You just celebrated or marked the first anniversary of its creation. Going by what has been happening, going by paucity of funds, going by the myriads of challenges across board, would you say there is justification for the creation of the LCDA?
Yes, like you have said, despite that the funds, like I told you earlier on, and I've said this repeatedly, that human needs are insatiable. And even when we have a lot of funds to fund local projects in our local environment, we can't just do it all alone. I mean, funds that are meant for development projects cannot fund every project at a time. So it depends on the managerial ability of prudency and frugality, and that you set your targets on meeting the needs of your people. So what we did in Ajoni LCDA was that we set out a priority list, and even before then we have set out a blueprint. We have a committee on the Ajoni developmental roadmap that have set out the priority. Our priority was on 6 focal area. We are focusing on health advocacy, we focus on security, we focus on culture and values, we focus on education, empowerment, we focus on the area of cultures and values, we focus on governance, and those are the areas which we felt that our people will need attention, because it's a council created by Mr. Governor, Dr. John Fayemi, to be able to bring governance closer to the doorstep of our people at the grassroots. And if we would understood the needs of our people after conducting an assessment needs of the Ajoni communities, we have found that these are the priorities of our people. So therefore we channel our resources, the minimal resources that we have, we channel that resources in meeting the exact need of our people, and that's why we're able to at least bring smiles to the faces of Ajoni communities. And if you do not set your priority right, you will not meet what their needs. Ajoni community needs to boost their internally generated revenue, and that's why we face one of our cardinal projects on building modern market to boost the internally generated revenue of our people. We want to increase the IGR base of our Ajoni communities, and that's why we did that. We are also looking at other avenues of renovating other existing structures. We looked at the 5 lock-up shop built in Okaidu Community Market about 25 years ago. It has been left. It has been decayed, it has been moribund, it has been left unattended to. We reconstructed it, we renovated it, and now we have a 5 lock-up shop ready for commissioning also at the Okaidu Community Market. Likewise, we look into...
Okay, but before we start going into the achievements of your administration in the last 1 year, let us now look at, the communities. Some people, or most people, don't actually know the communities that make up Ajoni LCDA. What are these communities?
Okay, Ajoni LCDA is made up of 10 autonomous communities, and each of these communities has their traditional rulers. We have Iyemere Ekiti, Itapaji Ekiti, Esu Ekiti, Ipao Ekiti, Okiako Ekiti, Irele Ekiti, Ijowa Ekiti. We have the Okayedu Ekiti, Ayebode Ekiti, Oduayedu Ekiti. These are the 10 communities that made up the Ajoni LCDA. And when we conducted this assessment needs. We have realized that we cannot meet the needs of our people with the limited resources that we have at our own disposal, either from our Hajia or from the federal allocations that comes monthly. Remember, COVID-19 came on board and decided to displace the economies of the world. So we may not have enough Hajia coming out from the federation account. So we decided to think outside of the box, thinking on how to improve local governance by partnering or extending our influence with international non-governmental organizations. We invited them in because of our long-term relationship that we have had. We have built a mutual relationship of trust with these international NGOs based in America. Like we have the Bountiful Children's Foundation. It's a global nutritional organization based in America. We leverage with them, invited them to Ajoni LCDA to help support local governance. They came on board and also supported us with our programs to reduce the child mortality rate in the state. We also leverage our tentacles with Interwave Solution. These are NGOs also based in America. They came on board to provide training to market women, men, small and medium-scale enterprises, to also provide grants for those people that want to start up capital. And we are working on them to also give capacity and funding to these local entrepreneurs within Ajoni LCDA. We also worked and established our tentacles and influence with the Basia team. The Basia team is Build a School initiative in Africa. They go around the African regions to build schools so that to reduce the out-of-school children within the African region. We worked with them. We invited them to Ajoni LCDA to also help us build a school. Now we have a world-class standard classroom at the St. Stephen Primary School at Aibore Ekiti, where you cannot compare the standard, the quality, the space of that school building to any other school in Nigeria, even in West Africa, except those one built by Basia. They are helping us to also do this. We also leverage and establish our influence on the Family Search International. It's a branch of NGO based in America, and they have the African sub-region under the African Oral History Geological Project to train youths, unemployed youth, young graduates, to help us increase the human capacity development and job creation. They have engaged youth within Ajoni communities. They've been trained on how to use their Android phones deployed on their phones to go around Ajoni communities, gather family records, family names, because in Africa, we keep our record in our brain. And when we die with those valuable information in the grave. But now, the Family Search International, working with the African Oral History and Geological Project, has trained youth to help gather family records, place them in archives to unify family of the world into a database so that generations that are yet to come will also access those information and unified families of the world. Those youths are engaged and paid remunerations according to the speed of their work. Now we have youth in Ajoni LCDA getting remuneration. Some get 30,000. Some 40, some 50, some 60,000 monthly. They were being paid according to the speed of their work. This is an effort to increase the human capacity development and job creation, just in line with one of the 6 pillars of the present governor's environmental agenda of providing employment capacity building for our youth so that they can be more productive and useful for themselves and for the community. And we are also working with the National Center of Agricultural Mechanization in Can to also train youth in mechanized system of farming. Then they will be empowered to have farming tools and equipment, and even a center of that income will be created in Ajoni LCDA to provide farming tools to our farmers, to our youth. We have also worked with Mark George Consulting, which is one of the center for cultivating agricultural frontiers in Africa. It's a United States development program that will give capacity building to our cashew farmers in the state. We have done that in Ajoni LCDA to increase capacity of our cashew farmers. 1,000 hybrid cashew nuts were given, 100 stands to each of the Ajoni 10 communities. We have also partnered with the Fluids Management Services, which we call the FMS farm, which is one of those farmers at the State Agricultural Processing Zone. We have empowered Ajoni youth in commercial agriculture, where farms allocation was given to them freely. We also have farming tools, agrochemicals, land cultivation done freely to these farmers. The Ajoni LCDA has supported that by increasing their capacity by through funding, even supply of farming tools to these farmers, so that and also provide ready-made markets where their farm produce will be bought at the end of the market season.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, you've listed quite a lot of, establishments, international organizations, national organizations that your LCDA has partnered with, in ensuring the development of that place and, developing the youths in that LCDA. Yeah. Yes, what of sustainability? What measures or structures have you put in place to ensure the sustainability of these, programs?
Yeah, thank you so much. This is one of our plans. We understood that we needed to maintain those structures. We needed to sustain those programs. And we have departmental directors in our LCDA that goes on monitoring. Like we have the opportunity to benefit 7 of the new solar pump boreholes. That's one of the federal government sponsored water projects through the Federal Ministry of Water Resources. What we did is that we set up our community committees that will ensure that they monitor, they supervise, and give us feedback on every project that we are initiated and executed in the LCDA. We have a chairman and a secretary of this community engagement committee that helped us to do the monitoring. And we also have the departmental directors, either in the environment, either in the community, either in the works department, that goes around on a quarterly basis to ensure that those edifices that we brought to those communities have been used appropriately. Like the schools we built by the partnership of Ajoni LCDA and the BASIA, the Build a School Initiative in Africa. They have 6-month period of monitoring. That it comes there with their consultant to monitor that the edifice is being placed in use adequately. And by so doing, whatever programs we put on board and whatever edifice that we have erected will ensure sustainability, because the community are engaged in monitoring what we have placed on board. So the LCD, the international NGO, and also the host community are working under a tripod agreement to ensure that those edifices, those programs implemented or executed are being sustained through constant monitoring and supervision. Because we cannot, place much funds in those environments and we just keep our eyes aloof as if nothing has happened. There are millions of dollars. In fact, the school project is a multi-million naira investment in Ajoni LCDA. So we can't just allow those edifices to go through a social or monumental decadence. We monitor them by this tripod arrangement that we have put in place.
Okay, yes, there's this brochure, in my hand, which encapsulate some of your achievements. We have photographs here of your activities and all of that. Can you speak to some of what we have here? What are the critical achievements that you can really point to within the last 1 year that you've achieved?
Yeah, thank you, Mr. Sally, for that. Recapping all those achievements that we've made in Ajoni LCDA may take us a lot of time, because those achievements, those programs were initiated through some policy trust. One of our cardinals, I told you, is on education. We are trying to make sure we reduce minimally the out-of-school children in Ajoni LCDA, and that led us to partner with Build a School Initiative in Africa. It's a team of international NGO that are reducing the out-of-school children in Africa. They've built schools in some Cameroon, in Ghana, in Benin Republic, in Cape Verde, and some other African countries. So we brought them down to help us build a school in Ajoni LCDA. They did that through an assessment conducted by their consultant. One of the assessments is enrollment need for a school. Either the building has been dilapidated, and they want to understand, like we did assessment in the Ajoni LCDA through our education secretary and the AEO, area education officers, to assess most of our schools in Ajoni LCDA, and the St. Stephen Primary School, were one of the first beneficiaries of this school, because when we got into the St. Stephen Primary School, we found out about 3 or 2 classrooms were having their lessons in a classroom. We found out that Itake Community Primary School that were displaced by bandits at one of the forests came to sojourn. They were accommodated by St. Stephen Primary School. Therefore, the classroom became overpopulated. And how will students or pupils of the school have a conducive learning environment when the classroom has been over-jam-packed and populated? We have about class 3 and class 4 learning in a classroom. Some were facing this way, some were facing other way.
Due to insecurity.
Yeah, due to the banditry attacks of their communities at the Itake. So St. Stephen accommodated them and they became overpopulated. And Basia team felt this place need to have additional classroom, and we gave them a block of 4 classrooms, which is an international standard. The building, the concrete, the edifice, when you get there, you will see that this standard of classroom has never been built so ever in Ekiti State. Not the first time we have such edifice built in Ajoni LCDA, built in Ekiti State, and I'm sure Southwest Nigeria. So we have that achieved during our first time.
Has it been handed over and
yes,
used now?
It has been commissioned by Mr. Governor. It has been completed by Ajoni LCDA and Basia team. Counterpart funding was adopted to build that school, completed, commissioned, and handed over to the super. And the ES has given the keys to the school. Today, we are the pupils of Itake community and St. Stephen accommodating that classroom put into use. We supply the school with school supplies. We gave the school an international marker board. And if you get here today, you would understood what we have done. I mean, we can put them on record, but when you see the building, you see the standard, it's of highest value. In fact, it is a world-class standard classroom that has never happened in the history of Ekiti State. Built schools, even in Superb, we are giving them the best. We gave Ajoni LCDA the best of what we can do, because that is governance, meeting the needs of our people on education.
Don't you think that will bring rivalry, among the students? You have students occupying the new structure, and while others are still in the old structure. Don't you think there will be that kind of competition among
well, that may be, but to us, what we intend to give is to give the best quality, to give a standard. I think the students will understood that they have opportunity to have a classroom that will give them a conducive learning atmosphere, and that is our interest. And the competitiveness, is to be there, but notwithstanding, the student will be happier learning in a conducive learning atmosphere in Ajoni LCDA today. And also in the areas of arts, we introduced the International Bountiful Children's Foundation to screen about 400 pregnant nursing mothers and children. We targeted 1,000 days of life, where these children, within 6 months to 3 years, where we will give them a good screening to understand those that have been malnutrited. There are some malnourished children that were being screened by these agencies. They came on board. The Nigerian country directors came on board here to Ekiti, to Ajoni, to screen about 400 participants. After screening those children, those that were malnourished were given a food supplement. That food supplement has very rich macronutrients for child's brain development. And when a brain of a child is well formed and developed, that child will learn, will be very purposeful, useful, and very healthy. We wanted to do that to reduce minimally the child mortality rate in Ekiti State, starting from Ajoni LCDA. And today, 400 of these children came to the secretariat, were screened, and were given that macronutrient food supplement. And they will be sustained for the next 6 months. So we are trying to reduce the child mortality rate in Ekiti State, trying to key in to one of the development agenda of the present government, led by Mr. Biodun Abayomi Oyebanji, to make sure we bring health care to our little children so we can have a productive, healthy babies in the families in the Ekiti State. When we look at the areas of water supply, Ajoni LCDA also partner with RUWASA. RUWASA is the Rural Water Sanitation Agency in Ekiti State to initially revamp or rehabilitate about 8 communities, motorized borehole within the LCDA, While we are doing that to pay for the technical expertise of these people and to provide materials to revamp this borehole, the federal government came on board with this new solar borehole in Ekiti North. We have 12 new solar borehole to be given to about 12 communities in the whole Ikoyi local government. But because of the needs that we partner with Ruwasa, Ajoni LCDA benefited from 7 of these projects in Ajoni communities of Esun, Iyemero, Ipawo, Ukiako, Ayebode Ekiti, and Ukiako benefited from this new solar borehole. We gave them lands to build this borehole, and we also set up community needs. We assisted one of the technical expertise to make sure we completed our quota to it. And today, 7 of our joining community is benefiting from the new solar borehole that's providing portable and clean water to our people. We want to improve their livelihood in Ajoni LCDA. Like I told you, the African Oral History and Geological Project also trained Ajoni youth, and also we provided remuneration to improve the human capacity development of our youth and created jobs for them. They will be remunerated for 2 years, and that will also make them more self-reliant within their Ajoni communities. Our traditional rulers also play an integral and critical part in our social development effort. So on a monthly basis, we provide regular payment for the recharge of the solar substations in the palaces of our obas every month to support the palace development initiative of Ajoni LCDA to our KBCs today. And the KBCs are happy that we are also adding values to their palaces and to their self-worth and to their contributory initiative to develop and support Ajoni LCDA. We have done so much in Ajoni LCDA that if we begin to mention, like I told you, we have provided solar street lights to some rural communities that have been disturbed by banditry and kidnapping activities. Because due to these communities that has not been lighted up in these our local communities of Iyemero, we've given solar street lights to link up with Iyemero Ekiti to the border of Eruku. So we provided solar street lights to Iyemero. We've also given to Itapaji Ekiti solar street lights to reduce insurgencies and criminality, so that those local security that we set up can be able to patrol, monitor, and survey and provide surveillance along these routes. We also provided solar street lights to Ipawo Ekiti today to lighten up those communities. Okiako also Ekiti will be enjoying solar street lights in those communities. Right now, we have also built open market stores at Irele Ekiti to also increase rural economy of these people living in those communities. We want to improve on the gross domestic product (GDP) of this local environment, so that they can increase in their economic trade zone. We have also built a open market store at Ijowa Ekiti today, so that we can provide markets for the farm produce of our farmers producing their farm produce to have access to a marketing center. And like I also told you at Ekiti, we have repaired a motorized borehole supplying water today, and they're having a highest pumping and heating rate to Ekiti today. We have also provided 5 lockup shops renovated, completed. We reconstructed, renovated that 5 lockup shops at Ukaido Ekiti to also increase economic activities of our people. So that those living in those rural environments will have to improve in their rural economies, have incomes in their pockets. So we have to increase the market base of our market men and women by providing those market facilities for them. And that's why we have to repair that. We renovated that edifice. Also, Odoedo Ekiti has also gotten our renovated effort of their 5 lockup shops at Odoedo Market right away, awaiting commissioning, so that we can also support our market women and men within that environment. We have virtually touched all the 10 communities in 1 or 2 social investment programs, development infrastructural programs to also lift up rural governance within adjoining communities. Remember, the LCDA was given unto them so that we can midwife development programs. So our initiative, our attempt, our thinking is to make sure that all those communities benefited from our investment program and development programs within adjoining communities. Ayebode Ekiti today as close as 55 open and lock-up shops in Ayebode Ekiti to make sure we open the economic trade zone between Ekiti State to Kogi State to also Kwara State and other northern states, so that we can have an influx of market activities coming up there. Our intent is to improve, to boost the internally generated revenue of those environments. So Ajoni LCDA will have more incomes coming on board to also fund other projects. And that's why we have to look at the central place, and we are also advised by the state government to look into the highest way to boost our IGR, and the Ajoni market was taken over by Ajoni LCDA to become Ajoni Central Modern Market, to increase the facility, the structures over there, and also provide intelligence to Ajoni LCDA. And that is why we were built 55 open market store and lock-up shops at the Ajoni market, taken over by Ajoni LCDA as now Ajoni Central Modern Market.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, congratulations on the various achievements that you've been able to list. Yes, let's now talk about rural roads, roads connecting the communities. We know that, to construct roads now, you have to, be very, very buoyant.
Of course.
Yes. But in ensuring that the roads are, passable, the roads connecting the communities, what have you done?
Yeah, thank you. Under the road reshaping, when we resumed Ajoni LCDA initially, we found that the road from Oduayedo to Ayebode-Ekiti has been a trap where these kidnappers will lay their victims, and also we have criminalities on the high side on that route. And also, we also understood that even the vehicular movement on that route has been so impeded because of the bad nature of the road. So we conducted an assessment through the Director of Works Department. So we decided to do road reshaping. We fixed that road so it will be motorable. And we are also grateful that the place is now motorable, and the market men, the transporters, the commuters, and all the people that plow that road, now no more criminality on that road because the road is fixed. And also, we want to also thank especially the wisdom, the initiative of Mr. Governor that has conducted assessment, apart from what we did on the Oduayedo to Ayebode route that makes it more pliable today. Mr. Governor has conducted assessment. He has listed most of those rural roads under the Rural Access Market Project, RAM, to make sure he fixed all the rural farmstead roads within the Ekiti state. And Ajoni, I'm sure, will benefit largely because we have the largest bulk of landmass in Ajoni LCDA, and we have our communities that are linking up with this farmstead. Mr. Governor has listed those rural roads to be fixed, and I'm sure any moment from now you will see massive constructive work that will be going up on that rural access road to feed our farmstead downwards to the market center. So these market centers we are building, and those that we have built, we have accessibility, and the farm produce could have their access to the market today. So Mr. Governor is doing, we have done what we could do in the LCDA, and Mr. Governor is also coming up with this RANK project funded by World Bank, and I'm grateful for his initiative because it's an action governor. Is a performing governor that knew the needs of Ekiti people and is meeting the needs of Ekiti people. And indeed, we are proud under the leadership of Biodun Abayomi, our most purposeful, brilliant, all-wise governor that is meeting the needs of Ekiti people. And very soon, those roads will be fixed under his watch and under his directive and under his leadership.
Okay, yes, let's now talk about, insecurity. That area, is known for kidnapping, banditry, and all of that. And would you say your administration has been able to do much, in stemming the tide of insecurity in that?
Yeah, Mr. Saliu, we have done enough, and we are still doing more to make sure we ensure the safety and security of lives and properties of our people. Like we are the chief security officers of the LCDA, so we cannot just place the life of our people in the hands of these criminals. So we did that to make sure we initiated, established, and launched what we call the Ajoni Local Security Network, codenamed Operation Iborak. Iborak means eradicate bandits at the borders of rural Ajoni communities. We did that by recruiting local security from the Odua People's Congress, OPC. We did that on recruiting from the VGN, that is the Vigilante Group of Nigeria. We recruited local security from the local and village hunters, and we decentralized the chains of command of this body of security network to have the commandant from the VGN, OPC, and the local and village hunters. They are being supervised and monitored by the council chairman and also the DPO of Ikoni local government. We regularly undertake forest combing, and we also do patrol, surveillance, and gather security or intelligence report from this route. We have developed 17 routes with 17 route commandants. We have deployed local security personnel in this route, which embarks on 3 security assignments of patrol, surveillance, and intelligence gathering. We have recorded success stories by arresting bandits and kidnappers at the forest of Yemero to boundaries. We have also recorded that at Tapaji Forest, down to one of the centers of these boundaries. We have also recorded arrests of these bandits and kidnappers at Ichowa and Irele Forest. We have also recently, even of the one that were kidnapped, by the efforts of the Nigerian police, that we are so saddled with internal security, combated and also worked with the local security of this operation in Burak to dislodge kidnappers even at their den and their camps at the Okiako, Ijowa, right to the Yemero forest, and we'll be able to release about 4 of those people kidnapped recently by these people. So we have had a concerted, productive network of the JTF led by the Nigerian police with the Ajoni Local Security Network to minimize and combat insecurity within Ajoni LCDA. Because we have a right. The lives of our people in Ajoni LCDA must be protected. So to restore peace and absolute tranquility in Ajoni LCDA, we have recorded success story to minimize insecurity in that environment. And we are also recently empowering, increasing the manpower, reinforcing them. They were trained by the Commissioner of Police through the RRS on armed combat and intelligence gathering. So these security personnel were not just recruited and placed in those security routes. They were being trained to increase their intelligence gathering and on armed combat to be able to face these insurgencies and criminalities within Ajoni LCDA. Now, insecurity has been minimized within the LCDA, and our people are having the confidence and the trust in us that we'll be able to maintain, to reduce insurgencies within Ajoni LCDA. In fact, establishing the Ajoni local security by localizing our security in the hands of our people living in those terrain, because they understood the terrain better than the conventional security. A policeman that were posted from Zamfara to Ikole may not understand the route, the local route within the environment. So what we knew that our local hunters, our villagers, our farmers, our hunters understood the terrain very better. They understood each of these routes from Yemero to Koro, from Yemero to Ayegune, from Okiako to Ponyo, from Irele to Ogbe, from Ijowa to Ipao. They understood those routes. So therefore, localizing security in the hands of our local men will help us to identify and be able to combat the criminalities within the 17 routes where we have tagged as red zones, where criminalities is being prevailing within the Ajoni community. So one of our cardinals, one of our greatest efforts, one of our achievements that we say we have done today is to establish Ajoni local security networks coordinating operation in Burak to minimize insecurity within the borders and forests of Ajoni LCDA. And also, coupled to that, we also established the Ajoni Social Security Trust Fund, where we expect funding from donors, individuals, corporate organizations, Ajoni LCDA, and host community to support the funding of this local security network, because we can't do it alone. And Mr. Governor has assured us with his funding efforts. Governor has efforts in funding, governor has efforts in capacity building, and governor is doing much to also sustain this local network in Ajoni LCDA.
Okay, Mr. Chairman, because of our time, your words of assurance to your people that more are still coming.
Yeah, of course, my people in Ajoni LCDA have told you repeatedly that we are here in this saddle of power to bring governance to your doorstep and do it so well. In this coming year, we will give you the Ajoni Youth Foundation, the Ajoni Youth Development Foundation, where we meet the needs of our teeming youth. We also look into providing Ajoni Commercial Transnational Park so we can also bring Ajoni to limelight. We are also thinking of revamping the Ajoni Cocoa Revamp at Ayebode because lands have been given to us in the last administration. We are also looking at the Ajoni Women's Skill Development Center. So Ajoni will benefit a lot from our effort. Ajoni LCDA also has been given another schools project by Basia team. So we will make sure we dot Ajoni communities with most of our developmental projects. So Ajoni LCDA will become a cynosure of good governance, we become a cynosure of development, we become a cynosure of what good governance is to meet up our needs at the grassroots. So we assure you Ajoni communities of our consistent development initiative to make Ajoni LCDA the best of all the community needs and will bring Ajoni to limelight. And I'm sure Ajoni women and youth would give us their support to continually provide transformatory leadership and good governance to the doorstep of our communities. We assure you with that and will not derail. Just keep praying for us so whatever we have planned in our blueprint will keep manifesting by the grace of God and by your own support at all times.
Okay, Prince Michael Ogungbemi is the chairman of Ajoni LCDA. Thank you so much for coming on Daybreak Nigeria and for letting the public know what you've been able to do.
Thank you so much, Mr. Saliu, for inviting me to the studio to bring to limelight all that we have been able to do within the last 12 months in Ajoni LCDA. And when the time you give me any invite, I'll be glad to come up here to also tell us more that we have done.
Okay, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yes, this is the destination point on Daybreak Nigeria for today, and we thank you so much for being part of it and asking you again to join us tomorrow morning for another beautiful encounter on the program. My name is Tunji Saliu. Thank you for watching the program this morning. Good morning.
Daybreak